At first glance, this looks like a toy, just another cute little clamshell. But flip it open, and you're looking at a retro powerhouse that runs everything from Atari and NES to Dreamcast and N64. This is the Miyoo Flip V2. It's pure nostalgia upgraded. Let's check it out. Hey, welcome back to Digital Jedi Gaming. Today we're diving into the Miyoo Flip V2, a retro handheld that's turning heads for both the right and the wrong reasons. Let's talk about it. First, let's take a look at what's in the box. I picked this up from AliExpress. I ordered it from the official Miyoo store. With coupons, it came to about $70 US shipped. It comes in this white box with a cool black and white drawing of the Miyoo Flip, and they added some glossy color to the buttons to make it pop. Inside, you get this Miyoo branded hardshell case. You open that up and you will find the flip itself, a USB-A to USB-C cable, a 64 gig micro SD card, the SD card reader, the instruction manual, and a basic plastic screen protector, which honestly I don't think you need for a clamshell. Before I get into my thoughts, let's talk about the specs of the Miyoo Flip. For a chipset, you get a Rockchip RK3566. This chipset's been around for a while, which means we should have some pretty good custom firmware support coming soon. She's equipped with 1 GB of DDR4 RAM. The screen is a 3.5-inch IPS display. That IPS screen has a resolution of 640 by 480, which gives it a 4:3 aspect ratio. Comes with a 3000 mAh battery, which should give you about 3 to 5 hours of gameplay. The operating system is an Linux-based Miyoo stock firmware, and there is custom firmware options currently available. Right now we can get MinUI, or if you want to get an Android 32, you can give Gamma OS a shot. For connectivity, this bad boy does have Wi-Fi. It supports 2.4 and 5 GHz wireless. First things first, the design. If you love the Game Boy Advance SP, this will feel like a nostalgic throwback. The clamshell form factor is compact, and Miyoo claims the upgraded full metal hinge adds durability. We'll come back to that. Does it feel premium? Well, not exactly. The materials are lightweight. The shell is a matte gray that feels somewhere in between textured and glossy, if that makes sense. There are some nice textured ridges on the bottom too. As for I/O, on the left, you have the SD slot 1 for the OS and a volume rocker. On the right, you have SD slot 2 for games and a power button. On the top side, you got USB-C port, you have an HDMI out, and you also have your shoulders and triggers. On the bottom, you have a headphone jack and a USB-C port. It's super portable and feels pretty solid, but doesn't exactly scream high-end. Now let's talk about the little gray elephant in the room. This is version 2 of the device. One of the things Miyoo claimed to have improved was the hinge, because the original release, there was a lot of community feedback saying the hinge felt cheap. So they upgraded to a full metal hinge. Now specifically with the gray V2 model, there are a lot of reports that the hinge might actually be worse. People have reported grinding noises, and we've even seen pictures of broken hinges and cracked shells. Take a look at this example right here. It seems to mostly affect the gray model. I'm not saying the other colorways are immune, but the majority of the reports were about the gray version. I've had mine for a few weeks and gamed on it a fair amount. No issues so far. The 3.5-inch IPS screen is crisp with decent brightness and solid color accuracy. The D-pad is solid and very quiet, but it's really narrow. The face buttons are a good size. At first they felt like they had no travel, but after a few sessions they grew on me. They're a great fit for this form factor and still nice and quiet. The shoulders and triggers also feel good and super quiet. Now, the dual analog sticks, they're a bit awkwardly placed. They've got pretty good range of motion, but I wish they had a slightly tighter feel to them. I'll say this, if you have big hands, be prepared for some finger gymnastics. Now let's talk about performance. The Miyoo Flip runs Miyoo stock OS. There are other custom firmwares out there, but let's focus on the out-of-the-box experience. The Flip supports a lot of emulators. N64 and Dreamcast titles run surprisingly well with stable frame rates, but don't expect perfection. Some of the tougher games to emulate may still struggle a little bit and could have some audio crackles and run at lower frame rates. Miyoo's stock OS experience, it's clean and functional. There's a couple built-in themes, but they're a bit generic. Fortunately, the Miyoo stock OS comes with Emulation Station. You just need to enable it, and here's how. Tab over the settings, scroll down, and select Use Emulation Station. It'll ask if you want to make it your default, hit OK, and you're good to go. In case you're new to it, Emulation Station is a front-end launcher that organizes your games, adds game info, and can even pull up box art. There are tons of themes that make the whole experience look and feel way better. It's my favorite front end. Now let's check out a few of the games that came included with the Flip's SD card. So, is the Miyoo Flip V2 worth it? If you're a retro gaming fan who loves clamshells and portability, it's a solid pick. But I do think there are better options out there, like Anbernic's RG35XX SP, which has a much better D-pad, comparable face buttons, and better shoulder buttons, but they're all much louder than the Flip. Or even Anbernic's new RG34XX SP, which is basically a clone of the Miyoo Flip, but with a 3:2 aspect ratio, and again, has a better D-pad and just feels like a better quality device overall. Or maybe a clamshell just isn't for you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hey, if you found this review helpful and want to see some more of my nerdy content, hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt. Take it easy and keep gaming.